Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video we are taking a look at 20W46A. Now unfortunately I was unable to cover the last snapshot, but we are here. Get your leather boots on because in today's video powder snow is here in the game. We need to learn how to get hold of it and what happens when you freeze. So let's jump straight into things. Turning around here in front of us we have powder snow, which is incredibly hard to see. I have realised with the brightness actually around here, but if we take a look around the edge I've got these snow blocks, but in the middle we have powder snow. This is what it looks like, and as we can already see it looks quite similar to the regular snow block. Let's take a look at this thing. So we're going to jump on top and you'll see that we are completely standing on top of this thing. If I just drop down like that, let's go into game mode survival just like that. You'll see we'll be able to walk on top of this fine. But if we are to take off our leather boots, we fall straight through. And can you see what's happening around the edge? We are freezing. And as you will see, we are slowly freezing. And then after a short while, our health bar down at the bottom is going to turn frosty blue. And as you can see, there it goes. It's turned frosty blue. And we are going to slowly to start taking freezing damage while we are inside of this snow block, this powder snow block, sorry. And as you will see, we are slowly taking damage. But we can negate the amount of damage we are taking by wearing leather armor. If we are to put a load of leather armor on, now it doesn't affect it if you're inside it and put leather armor on, but let's say we go back inside and wait for us to start freezing, then we'll see that we're not actually going to take any damage, only if we are wearing a full set of leather armor. Or maybe not. As we can see, I'm taking damage here, but I'm wearing full leather armor. So maybe we found a little bug in the game just there. But as you can see, we can actually sort of swim through this block, which is very interesting. When we come out of the block, you'll see these particle effects around the edge all fade away. And yeah, we can walk around on this quite nicely. I love the look of the block. I love the interactability with the block, that you can crawl inside it, but you can sort of swim up by holding spacebar or hold shift and you can fall right down through it. Well, how do we get hold of this powder snow? Well, let's jump around into creative mode, and for that we're going to need a cauldron. So I'm going to set the weather to, let's set it to rain for the time being. As we're in a snowy tundra, that means it's going to be snowing. Now what we're going to hope to see is inside of this cauldron, powder snow will start to fill up. Now as of my testing so far, I'm yet to see it fill up at all. And I have increased the random tick speed only for a short while, but I'm yet to see it actually fill up. But this is the way you get hold of it. You need to put your cauldron out in the snow, and what we will see is you will end up filling it with something just like that. In the cauldron, you'll then get your powder snow, and then we can grab an empty bucket just like that, and we can right click. That will give us the powder snow bucket. And then to place the block down, well, we just use a regular bucket just like this. That will place it down. Now I think the one problem I can see with this is if we are around in survival mode, we place it down, well, buckets don't stack. Now the problem with buckets not stacking is trying to get a large quantity of these items is going to be really hard. So maybe that's something that needs to be looked into, another way of us being able to carry around and use large amounts of powder snow. But this is a very interesting block, and definitely we're going to see more coming to this feature. But let's jump around and we have some more bits and pieces to take a look at. We have some texture changes and a couple of tweaks to the lightning rod. The lightning rod has doubled its radius. It was 4 by 16, it is now 8 by 32. That means it will cover a much more larger area of your world, protecting your builds just that little bit more. You can have less of them down and protect more, which is obviously what we want. And you'll actually notice that the texture of the lightning rod has slightly changed since the last snapshot. But let's go and take a look at the other texture changes there have been, and for that I'm going to get rid of the weather because I mean it gets in a little bit in your face, all of that snowing. But if we take a look over here, we have the different copper blocks just here. These copper blocks have had a slight change, cut copper blocks, sorry. You may be able to notice it, or you may not. It's a very marginal change, but I think they do look just that little bit better. Again, the lightning rod has undergone a couple of changes. Calcite has had a few changes. I really prefer the look of this one compared to the previous snapshot. I think this will actually work really quite well with snowy sort of builds as well. I think that's going to work quite well. There's also been changes to the block of amethyst and the budding amethyst block. As we can see, there are just a few more, again, small tweaks, and what it says on the changelog is changed a number of the textures for blocks and items introduced in the previous snapshot. So they're still playing around with ideas and please do remember they may change once again. Over here we have Tinted Glass, which again has also had some changes to it, and there's also been some texture changes to things like the candles. They have changed from their previous item texture to this new candle texture, and if we just search out candle, you'll see that is the same for every single one of them. Now I believe the snow has actually hidden my item frames down here. The amethyst shard has changed, and also there's been a change to the bundle. Now if we hover over it, you'll actually see there's a plus icon next to it, and I think if we were to put a few things inside this, and I need to remember to right click, I think that looks really good. That is so much better than it was. Now let's say we put half a stack of something in there. Yes, that's the way it should be. We can now see what's inside of our bundles much more easier. And I believe if we were, let's say, to fill that thing right up, yeah, it removes the plus icon so we know what's in there. Nothing else can be added. I think that's a really good change. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look. There's been a lot of technical changes in this update. If you're interested in those, make sure to go and check out the changelog linked down below. Over here, I wanted to point out one bug fix which has happened once before, and you may or may not have noticed you can summon in TNT. So I've summoned in a normal TNT like this. Everything looks fine. Now in a previous snapshot, if we were to summon in a TNT with a higher fuse than 80, 80 is the default, I'm summoning this one with 100, and you will see, well, previously the flashing animation will change, but that has been fixed. So some more tweaks and changes, and there's been a lot of bug fixes in this update. So if you're interested in those, go and check out the bug tracker. One command has been removed and one command has been added. The /replace item command has gone. As you can see, it's not popping up just there, and that has been replaced by the item command. And as you'll see, it does similar things to the replace item command, but it comes with a few more modifiers and changeable options, so there's more use for this. So if you're interested in the full details of that, you can then again head to the changelog. I feel like I'm a little bit on repeat, but as we can see, this is a bit of a smaller snapshot compared to the last snapshot, but it's bringing in some new features, it's changing some things up, and as we now have powder snow, I wouldn't be surprised if soon we'll be getting the goat mob into the game, which will be very exciting. So this has been a little bit of a smaller snapshot. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. I'll be covering all of the Minecraft 1.17 snapshots and beyond here on the channel as soon as they come out. So thank you ever so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.